So I'm on the clock at the 1.11. And I'm going to see what it looks like if I reach on Devon Achane, because if I don't, Team 12 could have taken him. I could go a number of directions here with my second pick after McCaffrey and London go off the board. Derrick Henry could be my second running back, and I could go with the double hero build. Or I could take Brian Thomas. Henry, man, I don't know what to do with Derrick Henry. And by the way, Nico Collins would be a fine pick as well. It'd be kind of crazy to keep letting him slip. But I'll take BTJ because I really like Brian Thomas. Hero RB is kind of feeling like the vibe for this year, but it may just be take two. Team 10 goes Genty Henry. I mean, there's probably some merit to that as well, because I know now that I'm basically locked out of the next few running backs that I consider to be worthwhile. Not getting Bucky, not getting Taylor, Kyron, Chase Brown. Again, maybe Breece Hall falls back to me, but I'm not as tempted to take him because I'm not desperate for a running back once I have Achane locked in. So we'll test this out. I don't know if I really like drafting from the turn, but we'll find out if I do. Chase all the way up to 2.12 in that pick. Couple of Bengals for Team 1. Believe Lil Colt is the screen name for that drafter. Kyron Williams, so he's doubling up on running backs after taking Jamar Chase. That feels like a pretty reasonable thing to do as well. And I think Kyron Williams is always such a polarizing player, but he just continues to get workload and contracts from Sean McVay and the Rams. So really not a lot not to like about the St. Louis kid. It's one of the guys that I covered him a game or two in high school, when he was in high school anyway, when I was writing for various newspapers. So that's kind of a cool one. He's probably the biggest football player that I covered any of when he was in high school, because he obviously has gone on to be a starting running back in the NFL. I'm trying to think elsewhere. Deuce Vaughn was a running back in Central Texas when I covered him. Has not quite really emerged with the Cowboys, but he's been there a couple of years. And he was, I mean, I tell you what, and when he was in high school, he was Darren Sproles. It was crazy how good that guy looked on the field. All right, Josh Allen goes to the computer at 310. Jaden Daniels is sitting here for me, and I'm just going to take him because I don't know what that CPU is going to do. Well, they're going to take 2 Jets, apparently. Excuse me. Yeah, for me, back of the third, that's Jaden Daniels' time. I'm happy to do that. Get one great receiver, one great running back, and a great quarterback. So last draft, I waited, and ended up with Caleb Williams. This time, I'm like, yep, I'm happy to just take Jaden Daniels and call it a day. Tight end, there's no one to take. I got to pick a receiver. Losing my voice, sorry. Pick a receiver. I'm going to reach. No. Oh, no. I autoed. But because I'm drafting with other people, I need to respect the draft. I would never take Mike Evans. I was clicking Rashee Rice. You may have seen on the video. Didn't get him. But maybe that's for the best. You know, maybe the CPU knows better what I should be doing than I know myself. Because Rashee Rice could very well be a dangerous pick if he's suspended 6 games. I'll be 2-4 by the time I get him back if I draft him. You never know. But man, that's gonna sting. I just would never take Mike Evans. I just wouldn't do it under like any circumstance. Why? Well, because he's kind of old, and I don't want to be left holding the bag. I just don't get caught holding the bag when it comes to. I draft these redraft teams like it's a dynasty almost. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how I do it. All right, so we're going to see how we work around that Mike Evans pick because that changes a lot for us. Rice and Worthy go. Interesting to note that Worthy ended up going before Rice, although I was taking Rice, so that wouldn't have been true. Tedero McMillan up to the early 5th at this point. Honestly, I should just be taking McMillan right there in the early fourth. I would have taken McMillan over Mike Evans. But I've been trying to kind of play ADP a little bit with McMillan, and I'm starting to realize I'm going to lose because other people like him too. And if I look at the rest of that fourth round, like let's just start it from the top. Garrett Wilson, Evans, Kamara, Henderson, that's a fine pick. Again, feels early, but that's maybe where he's going to end up. Metcalf, Hurts is in that top 4 quarterback group, but usually not the one I'm targeting. Ken Walker, totally fine. Team 6 takes him. Needed a running back 1. I get that. Adams feels like Adams could end up being a really good pick in the late 4th, which he seems to be sliding to. Because I think Jimmy Garoppolo will get him the football. That's happened before. We've seen that with the Raiders. Burrow, 4th round pick. It's not until you get to like Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy that I really like any of the 4th round picks. So, what's I tell you? Just take one earlier. Don't worry about ADP. Get your guy. I can say it to everybody, but can I practice what I preach? If I hadn't taken Brian Thomas, I'd probably like Travis Hunter here. But now I feel kind of like, should I have done that? You know, I would really like my team better if I had gone Derrick Henry. And then I could take Hunter after Rashee Rice, which I didn't obviously get to take. I'll take Waddle, though, and then F it. I'm just going to take Travis Hunter because this is the dumbest draft I've ever had. I'm just going to take both. I'm just going to take both. This is peak, like, YOLOing a draft. I think Hunter's the best receiver left at that stage. I could have gone for, like, Olave again, or Judy, Ridley, Addison, Odunze. All of them are fine. But I think Hunter has the highest upside. So, after taking Evans, who I'm not thrilled to have taken that pick, I feel like I had to do something special. And that 5th round, man, is chock full of receivers I like. I wish I could have 4 5th-round picks this year. I wonder what a trade down would look like. Like, what would be reasonable to trade out of? You know, like, would I trade a 3rd for a 4th and a 5th? For sure. Would I trade my 2nd for a 4th plus a 5th? Probably not. That feels like about the line. I mean, I might trade my 3rd for 2 5ths. That doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Because then I'd have 3 5ths. Wow. Sleeper is freaking the F out. Stop that. Good grief. That's all right. It's a good app for the most part. But the mysterious ticking noise, enough. Had enough. Oh, boy. Yeah, Tetaroa is always gone. I call him Tetaroa because that's what his mom wants us to call him. He doesn't like Tet because she doesn't like Tet. Odunze feels like a good pick there. I like what Team 2 is doing there, Ren. I don't know how I feel about Jacobs. I don't have a good reason to fade him. I just don't tend to take him often. But you got 2 running backs that are getting volume. You got Lamar, who's one of those top 4 quarterbacks that we talk about, top 3 quarterbacks. I don't love the McLaurin pick, but, you know, it could work out for you. It's a little risky at receiver, though, with the Rice suspension, McLaurin holding out. Odunze was not a great contributor last year, but he should be a lot better this year. It's just so crowded with the Bears, though, too. But I like what Team 2 is doing. I don't know if I would go Laporta that early, but in terms of tight end value, I kind of prefer where Laporta's going over Kelsey and Hawkinson, and certainly over Kittle. If Kittle's in the middle of the 4th, I feel differently about that. But otherwise, I'm not so sure about the volume being there. But man, Kittle is a freaking stud, so I can't really fault you there. Kittle's one of those guys that every season I'm like, I can't draft him where he's going. But then the season happens, you're going, damn, I wish I had George Kittle. So maybe I'm the one that's wrong. I didn't get Caleb Johnson last time we drafted, and I think I'm going to just get him this time because I need a second running back, and he's the youth rookie upside that I look for in that position. But don't have me draft a 3rd. Let's wait a little bit to draft a 3rd. Even if I have to overdraft some of my late round targets by a round or so, I don't want to end up in the same spot I was in last time, where I just felt like I wasn't getting enough upside with my running backs. Oh boy, let's just take Igbokwe just to say I'm going for like the double stacks. Evans and Igbokwe for when Evans gets hurt, Igbokwe emerges. Tyler Warren's a good pick. I thought about him there, but we're punting tight end on this draft for sure. I know who I'm taking already. I already know who my tight end's going to be, and you will not pick him. If you do, I'll tell you, but I don't think you'll pick him. Igbokwe, I am excited about. I wish I didn't have Evans. It kind of ruins my whole draft because I'm drafting as though I took Rice there, but I didn't. Rice, by the way, went a whole additional round before anyone took him, so maybe that was just a dumb pick by me. And you can talk yourself into circles. Oh, actually, I forgot about one tight end. There's one more that I might take that you may draft. But I don't know if I want to do it on this wraparound. We're still in that. I mean, we still got the 9th round yet to go. We're still in the single digits here, Brenden. Warren and ETN go in middle of the 9th to the computer for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to wait exactly the way I thought I would at tight end. But if I was going to, it would be because I'm going to hit wide receiver hard and end up with maybe 7 of them this time. Let's see where we're at. Thomas, Evans, Waddle, Hunter, Igbokwe. It's an eclectic mix, to be sure. At running back, the top names are Javonte, Jordan Mason, J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. It's like the second dead zone for me. Tyjae Spears, Nick Chubb's in there. I don't want any of those guys, so I won't draft any of them. We're going to have to take a receiver. I always take Luther. We've done enough reaching at this point. Why not do a little bit more? Take Luther Burden. And then, honestly, let's see, 10th round. No, I'm not going to show my cards this early. We got a quarterback. Yeah, I lied about the thing. I'll take Loveland because he's at least upside at tight end. Theo Johnson was the name that I thought I was going to take, but then I realized, let's just see how round 10 and 11 go. I'm going to tell you how many players go off the board that I'm like, oh, I should have taken him at the 10th pick, or at the 10th round. Rena Grenades talking about Kyle Pitts. Yeah, you might get him here. We'll see. If you wanted to double up on tight end. So far, nobody has been taken that I'm just going, oh, I can't believe I didn't take him at 10.2. My team now, though, kind of needs Caleb Williams instead of Jaden Daniels because I took Loveland and Burton. I have stacked pass catchers of 3 different offenses. The Buccaneers, the Bears, and I've done it with the Jags. This is not my finest draft that I've ever done. 1 per night. Maybe that's my limit. Maybe that's what that means. Losing some steam. Or chasing the steam, either way. It's kind of what I did with Igbokwe. Drafted him in the 8th round. But he went in the 7th, I think, in our first draft. Will Kyle Pitts go off the board here? Here we go. Nope. I thought you were going to do it, Ren. I think Pitts is a good pick wherever he goes now. I should stop staring down all these tight ends, though. Okay, Shaheed, Sampson, Drake May, Rashid White, Dobbins, Ayuk, Kraft, Mason. There goes Pitts, Mooney. Only Kyle Pitts is maybe a guy that you could argue I should have taken in the 10th round at 10.2. I took Loveland instead. I think Loveland has higher upside, but he's definitely not as safe. Which is kind of silly to say because Pitts has never been safe. But I think he's very much going to be a guy that gets target share this year, and so I do kind of consider him safe. If you're drafting him in the 11th round, he's safe for what you're spending anyway. Yep, I don't regret the Loveland pick because what I thought about doing was starting to pick off some of the running backs that I was looking for. But I didn't have to. I'll take Trey Benson now. in the 11th round, which is maybe a reach for him. But with how I've structured the thing, I want to get guys that I think have a chance to help me. And I'll go ahead and take Braylon Allen, too. He's a late-round running back that I like. Didn't get him last draft. But I think I like him, and I don't have Breece Hall on this team. I did on the previous one. Was another reason to maybe not target him. Although you could take both, and if Breece Hall does somehow get traded, that would be like a huge boon for your team. I've done that a little bit on Underdog Best Ball, taking both. But now I feel pretty good about my team, even though I don't. I said I do, but that's a lie. The receivers are just too wonky. I've got plenty of talent that I'm excited about, but it's not a real team. Doesn't fit together. Running backs I like. Achane, Caleb Johnson, Benson, and Braylon. I like that 4-pack of running backs better than what I had the last time. I think last time it was a safer group, though. Like ETN, definitely safer in terms of like he's going to have a role right away, in my opinion, relative to Caleb Johnson. Charbonnet, you know what his role is going to be, and it could even be better than that. Like my running backs, though. Got 4 that I like. Brian Thomas, Waddle. If I just had, it's the Thomas and Hunter thing that's still burning me up. But maybe the Jaguars throw it a ton. Maybe their defense will stink, and I could start both those guys. But that's just not probably something that I would do in a real draft. I was just kind of irritated. And that happens sometimes. You make a pick early where you go, oh, my gosh, and you spend the next 20 minutes while you're waiting for yourself to come back around on the queue, just like kicking yourself. And then you kind of almost punish yourself with your next pick. And then you start to get a little bit indignant. You're like, well, screw it. If they're going to give me Brian Thomas, or if they're going to give me Travis Hunter, I'm going to take him. And then you're like, Brenden, you didn't really have a use for Travis Hunter. Or you get sniped and you act that way. It's a good learning experience. But at the same time, the players I have, I like. I think I'd like my team. I'm just going to pretend it's Rashee Rice instead of Evans. Thomas, Evans, Waddle, Hunter, Igbuka, Burden. There's a lot of upside there. There's risk. Like that's not a steady flex in week 1 or even like week 4. If I had Rashee Rice, that team would lose a lot of games early, but it has a lot of talent to where if I snuck in the playoffs, I think I'd still have a chance with this draft. I don't necessarily know if there's anybody to pick late. Let's take Krosky Merritt. He's going to be my stack with Jaden Daniels. I don't know if he's even going to make the team, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. All right, guys, appreciate you guys for joining the stream tonight. Again, remind you, hit me up on Twitter at bschaefer12. You can DM me. Luke wants to know, if I grab Chuba Hubbard, do I snag Dowdle in the late rounds? I don't think Chuba Hubbard is a significant enough running back to handcuff. I don't really, in my opinion, no. Cody wants to know over/under 2.5 concussions for Olave this year. That's kind of funny. I don't know if I guess I'm not able to put chat on the screen the way you can with StreamYard. But I'll keep learning on that. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this, I appreciate you for hopping in. This channel has struggled the last couple of weeks. I've been putting content on it, but maybe I just need to start doing some live streams because then at least I have people to talk to and we're having fun. Hit like on the video before you get out of here. Maybe that'll help the YouTube powers that be decide to give us a little bit of love and get this video stuff out to more people. We'll do more mock draft live streams as well throughout the rest of the month. Weekends are going to be a little bit tricky because I'm like going to concerts. I'm going out of town. Cardinals are in town this weekend, so I'll be covering the game one of those nights, and so it's a little bit tricky. But this weekend, Saturday night late, probably can do some of this. So stay tuned for that. It's weird now that we have more viewers now than we did at the beginning, but hit like before you leave, hit subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. We're going to keep trying to build this thing back up, and if nothing else, we'll get some practice in before we have our fantasy drafts later on this month. That'll do it for the stream. I'll repost some of this stuff on the channel as well, so you can go back and remember the draft that we just did and the fun that we had. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time on the channel. Peace.